Is Dying Light 2 set to arrive on Google Stadia? That's the subject today, and we're going to be talking about exactly why. But before we begin, I need to make it clear that this is pure rumor and speculation until we get any sort of actual confirmation from either Techland or Google themselves. This morning, some Reddit and Twitter users noticed that Dying Light 2's official website actually listed Stadia under its purchase page. It came up alongside Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Epic Game Store, Techland Store for Windows PCs, Steam, and then finally Stadia. As of now, the listing has been removed, but as noted by Gembear Gaming, the code for Stadia is still inside the website codes and in every other language the website supports as well. So where does that leave us? At this point in time, we have no official confirmation of this game coming, but it is worth noting what a strange coincidence this actually is when you take a look at Techland's history with Stadia. And by that, I mean there is none. So why exactly would Stadia be appearing on this listing? Most of the time I would default to saying it's user error, but I do find it very strange that Techland is a privately held company with no game releases on Stadia yet included it in their code. It very well could still be boilerplate text, but I do think it's rather strange that this would be happening specifically because of the company involved. Do I think the game is still coming to Stadia? Honestly, no. At least not anywhere near launch. Being realistic here, the game is only 3 days away, and announcing it now after everyone's probably already put their pre-orders in on other platforms just seems like a really odd thing to do if the game was already in development. This title releasing on Stadia would be big news, and it would generate a lot of hype, so why not take advantage of that if that was already assured? Do I think the game's still coming? Will it still arrive on Stadia at some point down the road? That's what I'm not too sure about. I really do hope this is the case and we get official word from this, but I actually think this may be a scenario where maybe there was a port at one point being worked on and maybe it got scrapped. And my reason for thinking that way is that Stadia has always never been shy of saying that a game is coming to Stadia at a later date before a game launches. You want an example of that? Take a look at the announcement for Dynasty Warriors 9. When it was officially announced, it was saying that it was going to come at a later date, and it wasn't only until recently that we found out that it'll actually be a day and date release. And it was the exact same story with a big release like Cyberpunk 2077 as well. Officially, it was coming at some point after the official release date, and then suddenly it became a day and date release after the game got delayed a few times. Even taking a look at the case of Resident Evil Village, we knew about 2 months before that game came out, which is a very short notice, but a notice nonetheless. Dying Light 2's port existed at this point in time. I would imagine that Google would have actually said something about it by now. I could very well still be wrong on this. In fact, I would love to be wrong on this because I do think Dying Light 2 would be a great get for Stadia, but I figured I'd give you my honest thoughts, then drum up some hype that may just get entirely deflated. Regardless, I do think an announcement of this scope should be coming soon from Stadia, and it's easy to see that this community really wants some AAA titles. Based on what the reaction to this rumor was, it really does speak volumes of just how much excitement there was within the community. Indie games can be great, and they are good fun, but there is a demand for these sort of AAA blockbuster titles on Stadia. And the further we go into the year without any sort of confirmation of a big title coming day and date, or at least at some point down the road, the worse the perception is going to be for Stadia by the vast gaming community and the Google Stadia community themselves. This isn't me trying to say that they need every big third-party release, but they certainly need some of them to drum up hype every now and then. I do think cloud gaming is going to be a slow burn at the end of the day, but Google still needs to maintain some coal in that furnace to keep everyone warm. Either way, let me know your predictions on this down in the comment section below. Do you see Dying Light 2 arriving on Stadia at launch or at some point down the road? If so, when and why? And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. As always, this has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.